resisting erasure, the imperative to call it East Turkestan, not Xinjiang. In the realm of global geopolitics, the terminology we employ carries weight. They can either serve as catalysts for change or as instruments of erasure. This is particularly true for the Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples of East Turkestan, an occupied country often referred to as Xinjiang, or the Uyghur region in mainstream narratives. This is not just a matter of semantics, but an issue of identity, history, and resistance. The term East Turkestan is far from trivial. It stands as a vibrant emblem of cultural heritage, historical continuity, and resistance against colonization and genocide. The toponym Turkestan, which means the land of Turks, dates back to at least the 5th century and was used to characterize the region, roughly encompassing Central Asia from the Caspian Sea in the west to the Jiayu Pass in the east. In the 18th century, Western geographers and historians began using the toponym East Turkestan to distinguish it from the western portions of Turkestan that are separated by the Pamir and Tengri Tağ, or Tian Shan Mountain. Since the early 18th century, East Turkestan has been extensively used in maps, official documents, history books, and newspapers to describe the Uyghur Turkic homeland. In contrast, the Chinese political colonial term Xinjiang, which translates to new territory, was coined during the Manchu Qing dynasty and imposed on East Turkestan in 1884, following the Manchu Qing's occupation of the country. The term makes no secret of China's colonial ambitions and is consistent with Beijing's ultimate objective of fully colonizing East Turkestan, eradicating the native Uyghur and other Turkic peoples, and permanently annexing East Turkestan to the Chinese Empire. Recently, some academics and human rights activists have introduced another term, Uyghur region, perhaps aiming for cultural sensitivity. However, this label also inadvertently contributes to China's imperialistic narrative. It implies that East Turkestan, which they refer to as the Uyghur region, is merely a subset of a larger political unit, in this case China, and erases its rich and distinct history of sovereignty. This term also effectively diminishes the ongoing collective struggle for the restoration of independence for East Turkestan by the Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples of East Turkestan. The power of language extends beyond merely recording history. It plays a significant role in shaping the geopolitical landscape. When the Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples of East Turkestan twice declared their independence in the first half of the 20th century, they opted for the name East Turkestan Republics. This choice of nomenclature was not incidental. It signaled a conscious assertion of their unique cultural and historical identity. Using Xinjiang or Uyghur region instead of East Turkestan implicitly supports China's claim of sovereignty, clouding the status of the occupied country and subtly validating China's ongoing campaign of genocide, colonization, and occupation. This notion is further perpetuated by the official Chinese designation of the East Turkestan as the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, a misleading term that conjures an illusion of self-governance, despite the harsh realities of genocide, mass internments, and systemic oppression. In this light, East Turkestan serves not just as a geographical marker, but also as an act of linguistic defiance. It reaffirms the identity, culture, and history of the Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples and their homeland. When international bodies, governments, and media use Chinese colonial political terms like Xinjiang, they inadvertently endorse China's imperialistic narrative and contribute to the continual erasure of these unique cultures and history. Likewise, China's efforts to promote the term Xizang for Tibet should be seen as part of a broader strategy to rename and claim sovereignty over occupied countries, thereby diluting their unique cultural and political identity. This is not merely a scholarly debate, it is an ethical obligation to uphold historical truth and human dignity. For journalists, opting to use East Turkestan instead of Xinjiang is more than an editorial decision. It's a position that counters state-sponsored disinformation. For policymakers, the choice serves as a litmus test of their commitment to upholding human rights and the principle of self-determination. The international community has a moral and ethical duty to stand with the people of East Turkestan by recognizing and affirming the true name of their homeland, East Turkestan, a name that encapsulates their unbroken struggle for survival, their unique cultural heritage, and their aspirations for freedom and independence. We must collectively make the conscious decision to use East Turkestan, enabling it to resonate in classrooms, newsrooms, academic journals, government offices, and international organizations. This should be more than a term. It should serve as a strong statement against oppression, a rallying cry for action, and an unyielding affirmation of human dignity and rights.
This article is written by Mr. Salih Hudayar. He is an Uyghur American currently serving as the Prime Minister of the East Turkestan government in exile. He also leads the East Turkestan national movement and is the leading advocate calling for the end of China's ongoing Uyghur genocide and the restoration of East Turkestan's independence. You can follow him on Twitter at Salih Hudayar.